us out of Oduduwa Republic. Votes for restructuring inaugurates new leader. Oluwabumi, son of Fa Shehun, the founder of OPC, also emerged as national secretary at the national convention of the organization. Afolabi, while carrying the group's position on agitation for Oduduwa Republic in his acceptance speech, said, "Let me quickly address the matter of those agitating for a separate Yoruba nation. I was deputy president to Dr. Fa Shehun for over 8 years. Along with many people, we undertook several projects, programs, and journeys together with Baba. In his lifetime, Dr. Frederick Fashehun never spoke to us about Yoruba independence. Anyone who tells you Baba ever said so is a liar. What Dr. Fashehun was concerned about was for Nigeria to hold the Sovereign National Conference NSC. Baba preached the gospel of restructuring, in which the states or regions will enjoy devolution of power and resource control. That is where OPC stands." He also urged members to operate within the confines of the law in their zeal to tackle insecurity. Okay, now let's go to the comment section. And the first person says, "Don't you think, is Baba around when Yorubas have been killed, kidnapped, or terrorized? Baba is no more. He's no more. He's your life. You have to live it. Era of Papa said, or Baba said, has gone. You better wear your thinking cap. Stupid boy." Right? Someone says, "You're living in the past. If Baba was alive today, perhaps he would have placed a curse on you for your archaic thinking. You must wake up to the reality and circumstances of today in Nigeria." But the fact is, we have to look at the probability of these things. One, Nigeria is simply a Disney a Disney fairy tale kind of story. It's not realistic. Again, it has to be a unanimous thing. And again, if people are not willing to put everything aside, their selfishness aside, majorly aside, then of course, then there's no point. Because again, how long do we have to wait for people to get to that realization? And people are not patient. They've been patient for long enough, 60 years, and the Nigeria's independence has not really done anything for anybody, and that people are saying they're proud of. In fact, at the end of the year, humans always complain, but the fact is things have gotten progressively worse. So again, one, Nigeria does not mean that it is a bad thing. It doesn't mean that, okay, fine, if it happens, then we'd all start beefing each other. It doesn't make any sense. We are just very, very different, and ideologies are too different, and nobody is willing to compromise. Exactly. So yeah, someone says, "We have no business sitting down in a meeting with the Northerners for any discussion on restructuring or resource control. Mind you, if it is not possible for anyone to pluck one of his eyes and give it out, so it is not easy for the Northerners to accede to restructuring and resource control. Without much ado, Oduduwa Nation is our yearning, and we shall have it in Jesus' name." But the fact is, you're talking about resource control. It's not about resource control. It's how they can give up the resources they've kept to themselves. And yeah, basically. So yeah, when it comes to resource control, it's it's not necessarily a discussion or think party. Basically, the northern part of the country have to give up, and so it's a privilege, or well, to them it's probably a right, but it's a privilege for them. It's a huge privilege they're giving up. It's not even like as if, okay, fine, if they're trying to be biased or like gatekeep whatever, it's not like as if, the general or average northerner is benefiting from all this at the end of the day. Because if you look at where the bulk of where the economy's money and revenue comes from, is from oil, basically, and in all the big corporations and all that, all the people are assigned and appointed to them and their own people. You never find that, okay, at least 20% is Yoruba or 20% is Igbo. It won't work like that. And so it's like, when it comes to resource delegation and that power, like, are they willing to give that up? That is the thing. Because if they're willing to give that up and people are willing that, let's do things the right way. Again, it sounds like a dream and it sounds very naive, but it is what it is. That's just what is needed. So yeah, Oduduwa Republic, if the people want that and they want to fight for it, absolutely, it's their right. They have to. I mean, what you can't tell us, how do you want to convince somebody that's fed up with a system that they've been in for 60 years? Or even if you're even younger, you see that even before your existence, it was never even good in the first place. Someone says, "People don't understand that people who don't understand the North will settle for restructuring. The North know where they are going. If they accept restructuring, it's a fake one. They will give you like the fake federalism. Absolutely 100%. But that's the thing. It's like they know that they benefit from that system, well, the current system now of corruption, and of course, them being in power in terms of what they're gaining yeah. So yeah, another comment here says things have changed. Your Papa didn't know. All we Yoruba need is independent government from this failed amalgamation. Absolutely. And again, Nigeria was never made for as a united or like we are where we are today for economic reasons, and that foundation that has been set obviously is very prevalent and literally sets the tone of how, or set the standard of how people in the country would relate. Northern part of Nigeria, southern part of Nigeria, even when we were colonized, were put together because the south was so industrious, the north could not be self-sufficient enough. So funds, being one country, meant that funds could go around. That's it. So our existence coexisting together was based on money, and of course, even after independence, it seems like it is still like that. Are you surprised? No, because the foundation was set like that. And of course, when we got to independence, the condition were generally, it's obviously more complicated than that, but in simple terms, the British were ready to give independence on the condition that the northern people would have obviously more power, and they would have indirect rule of Nigeria through the northern part of the country. That's it. So yeah, it's as simple as that. So again, we can't be surprised at what is here, what we have today, because the system has been set. And of course, we learned from the best. We were colonized, and obviously that was like the heap of corruption. So it's like, again, the conquered behave like the conquerors. That's it. Someone here says, correct, no Biafra during good luck Ebele Jonathan, because it favors them. Now they want Biafra. PDP Yorubas want Oduduwa because it does not favor them. No, I think people are just fed up, and I guess Biafrans, I mean, from the country's inception, were already at that point where they were like, absolutely not, we're not part of this. I think that it's obvious. Obviously, Yorubas took a longer time to get to that point where, okay, fine, there's now the talk of self-determination is obviously very much prevalent. Somebody here says he has been bribed to talk rubbish so that they will say, after all, it's not all of them that is in agreement. Exactly. And I think division is what we can't afford to be divided. We cannot afford to be divided. And I think that for us to actually use the competition and my second to actually get the best that we can from the constitution that of course they are benefiting from, because they're the ones in power. I think 2023 we have to take it very serious who we put in there and hold them accountable, from the local government chairman level to president, and understand that you cannot be having sentiments. I think we're going to learn our lesson. We have learned our lesson with Buhari. Again, you can't also, again, on the other hand, people that voted for Buhari the second time are the same people that can rise up again from the dead from somewhere else and come and vote for whoever that is not even fit to be president. So it's like we have to now understand that mistake of just the mistake of not having a proper cultural value system where we hold people that we put in power accountable, and we have standards for them. Now the bar is so low. All you even need to do to be better than Buhari is just speak English and address the nation. That is it. So again, it's a lot of work to do, but it has to be done. Put what you think about this in the comment section below, and do not forget to like and subscribe.